Okay, so now it's recording, and my name is Sergey Savastyuk. I'm going to be talking today about how to use AI robots, particularly when you can use several robots. And at the same time, I will show you some other things, kind of new things, which I'm really excited to introduce. First of all, we just released the mobile app. So if you want to get really prompt notifications, then the mobile app is a really good thing to get. So this is for stock and a separate one for crypto. So just don't hesitate to get quite a lot of information from these webcasts. We also have our YouTube channel. Quite popular, and these webcasts which are listening right now you can find on our YouTube channel. There's a really good source of information from our Twitter account. As you can see, we already published 1.4 million tweets, more than Trump, I bet, right? And what we do here, we put our system on automatic mode, and then you can get quite a lot of interesting signals based on the traditional indicators and some other information patterns and everything else. Okay, so you can subscribe to this channel and get quite a lot of signals right out of Twitter. Okay. So now let's go back to the our presentation. So what is Tickeron? Tickeron is the SEC registered company, and that allows us to ultimately manage other people's money. And we are actually moving towards this direction. So the robots we've been developing right now, doing like paper trades, but soon we are going to connect these robots to the brokerage accounts, and you're going to be able to use them. Okay. So why robots? I actually got this slide from another presentation. A lot of people in educational courses say you have to disregard your emotions and then kind of follow the rules and kind of be as robotic as possible, right? That's the reason we develop quite a few robots. We don't interfere with this type of activities. When we're going to connect to the brokerage in real time ticker feed, the kind of my guess is that for the manual trading, we're going to connect it in about maybe by the end of the year. It should be working, okay. And then soon after, we think we're going to test enough to put some of the best robots to trade, okay. And I will show you what we're doing. And actually, some of the robots we do use right now, like for our own manual trading. That's how we test them, okay. That's the timeline. Okay, so let's go. Okay, I don't know what you guys do, day trade or swing trade, very basic. So for day traders, we use the shorter patterns. For the swing traders, we use like a kind of wider time frames, and that's how we distinguish our robots. We based our robots not only on neural networks which do the pattern recognition, but also some other techniques like a trend recognition. We have a neural network for trend recognition, and for some volume action recognitions and other things. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is kind of give you a very brief introduction to at least one of our I would say engines. Okay, we call it real-time patterns. And then I will show you how we build the robots and how to use them for the auto tradings. Okay, Okay, so let's do that. Actually, I got a really good comment that when I introduced the patterns, I really compared them to the medical patterns, which now also being read by computers. When you come to the doctor, then you really do the like ECG, then a doctor looks at that stuff and says, oh, okay, you have arrhythmia, right? So then what happens with like other type of patterns for self-driving cars, also patterns. So the pattern recognition system kind of looking at the shapes, all kind of shapes, right? And then kind of makes conclusions. So the same thing for the stocks, okay? So there are a lot of patterns, and one of the kind of quite known a pattern called head and shoulders. You see, this is a head, this is a couple of shoulders, and then you see you can kind of calculate that, but then this is also head and shoulders, right? This is also head and shoulders, and then a neural network kind of looks at that and says, okay, I can discover this on the different time frames, okay? The shorter the time frame, the more actions you're going to get, okay? If you don't know what is the time frame is, you always do like that. You kind of say, okay, time frame meaning, right? And then you're going to get it here, get the images, and then if you know anything about the candles, right? So the time frame called the size of that candle. So if the candle is created within the 5 minutes, then it's called the 5 minutes time frame, okay? If it is a candle like 1 day, then this candle is in the time frame of 1 day, okay? So there are candles going down, there are green ones going up, okay? That's what is all about the time frames. A brief reminder, okay? So, but when we sketch this type of charts, we don't sketch them in candles. Then what we do, every candle has a price which ends the candle. So then it's end of the day or end of 5 minutes, then it's going to be a point, right? So if we sketch it with the points, then it looks like that. So it means every point is the time frame, like 5 minutes. So if 1 point, 1 day, so it means this pattern could be 60 days, okay? And then what we do, we kind of run our neural networks on different time frames and then discover all kinds of patterns. And then do the calculations that if it is a breakout point right here, so what happens, like going up, down, up, down, up, down, and it breaks here, then it goes down right here, okay? So what we do, we have a calculator, like a neural network calculator, which predicts how far it's going to go from this point, right? So for instance, if the pattern is shallow, then that distance is going to be shorter. So that means from this point to this point is your profit, right? Okay. So this is the head and shoulders for the bearish type of activity. This is for the bullish, right? It's also head and shoulders, and it's also head and shoulders, right? But then with a breakout, there is anxiety on the market to get to this price, and that's how we catch that particular point on the different time frames, okay? So let me then briefly show you let me tell you that you've been using our website for a while, then we just introduced on this week, actually the new homepage. When you log in, you actually have this watch list, which you can manage. But what is important that you can do quite a lot of things right out of this page. First of all, this is a general kind of direction buy or sell, right? So then what you can do is you can see since November 10, or like let's say from June 8th, then Ford gained 24%, right? So if you want to reset that calculator, how much it gains, so let's say NVIDIA since June 24th gained 57, right? So let's say, okay, I want to reset it for today, right? I can reset it to 0, boom. So now it's going to start from the price of tomorrow, right? So that way you're going to be able to see what's going on from a particular day, okay? So that's a really interesting feature. We just introduced that. Another thing is that with this type of preset signals, so for instance, if you want to get a notification that the Ford is going to get to the particular price, so right now, the current price is like $19, right? So then let's assume you want to find out when it's get to, let's say, 17, right? Or then another, let's say 15, when it's going to go down, you're going to catch the dip. You save, and then you're going to get a notification when a Ford is going to go down, okay? So because you see it's going up, people like the dips, it's going to go down, you're going to get notification. Other types of notifications here also quite interesting. So for instance, you want to get only a change from one position to another position. Let's say you want to get only buys. You don't want to get signals to sell, right? So then the technical analysis signals, for instance, you want to get only moving average signals. You're going to click it here and unclick it, RSI, stochastic, and others. If you want to get all of them, just keep it open, right? The same thing for price action, volume action, like winners, losers, and everything else, including the earnings reports, whatever insider trading information. So you can get it right out of this page, okay? That's a new page for us. We're kind of excited that it's going to be like a watch list centric type of approach. And then when you have it, then you're going to be able to add here different ways. So here, let's say if you want to add, let's say Apple, right? AAPL, add here, add, and then, okay. So APL should be here, loading, loading more. Yep. Yeah, you see it's been added, okay. So this is a really good feature, as well as quite a lot of free trade signals here on this page. You see news and signals, where we provide quite a lot of really good information. Okay, now let's deep down to what we wanted to cover today. Okay, so first of all, let me show you this first pattern search engine. Okay, that's where we really started. We took end of day information and then started searching for about 39 different types of patterns, right? And collect statistics and train the neural network, okay? So for instance, some people like to trade rectangular. Some people like cup and handle, flags, head and shoulders, to discover like bottoms. Some people like this type of triangles. So let me show how you can really learn. First of all, here is a description of the actions. So for breakout to the target price, we call it distance to target. That's your profit. And then we split it into the emerged patterns and the confirmed patterns. Emerged patterns when you have all the points. You see, so you have kind of bulls and bears fighting, and then you see kind of trying to break through the resistance line. And then when approximately right here, we say it's emerging because now it's going to be breakout. And breakout, if you miss, then it's going to be anxiety through that distance. And then you make money on this particular interval where you find that quite exciting because people don't like to miss this type of jumps, right? So what we did, so confirmed when it is breakout, emerged when it gets to the point number 4, right? And then don't think it is like only 4 points. No, it's every point, as I said, it is the point of a time frame. And this case, it is days, right? So it could be developing like for 15 days, 30 days, 60 days. And then it's going to be quite a lot of anxiety when it's going to go up, okay? So how we collected the statistics? You see, we provide the confidence. So the confidence to get from, let's say, breakout price to the target price. Let's say 60% we give you confidence, then 68% of the patterns we discovered actually get to the target price. So if you change this to 70%, so you see the number of patterns, let's go back to 60, you see 4,000 patterns we discovered. Now it's only 1,400, but the percentage goes up. Obviously, when we give a confidence 80%, the number of patterns, like kind of waiting time for good patterns is longer. But if you're patient, then you trade less. But the number of patterns reaching the targeted profit actually goes up, okay? So this is all statistical results. And then you can look and then kind of see what kind of patterns you like. And then you can trade and create your own robot, okay? So let me show you pretty much the same, but now it's a feed because it's a real time. What happens, we kind of, this page is refreshing. As soon as you get new patterns, you can press the button and refresh it. Now the market is closed, there is nothing to refresh. But what is important is a button customize, okay? So that's where we're going to spend a little bit more time. First of all, if you want to get notifications, kind of don't forget to turn on this button, right? And then now time frames, you see? If you want to get only 5 or 15 minutes time frames, you kind of click them check, or other unchecked. 1 day is also included, okay? So let's assume you want to get only confirmed. So now I'm going to go here, stocks, okay? So you see, all my categories unchecked so far. I will show you why, but I can check all of them, select all. So that means I'm going to be receiving signals from all possible stocks which we're covering. Or I can say, okay, I want to look only at banks or biotechnology, okay? And then if I want to include the penny stock, I'm going to click it here. If I want to exclude penny stock, I'm going to be excluding them, okay? So that's going to be for the stocks. You see, I'm including these 2 categories, but we have a feature where you have a specific list where you want to find. Let's assume you have your favorite list somewhere. You can type, and you want to get this list, and then the machine is going to be kind of getting the patterns for you from this type of a list, okay? So the same thing for ETFs. You see here I have 693 stocks included. If I want, let's say, add, you see this number is going to keep changing. So this is your total, right? So ETFs, I don't have anything, but if I want to include all of them, then that's going to be that search. And then pattern types, okay? So you see it's a 22. You see, I'm here only looking for either bullish or bearish. So in this case, I have only, let's say I'm going to unclick all bearish. That way, I'm going to be looking only at bullish, okay? Or I can do like that. let's say I like only channels, okay? This is a channel, this is a channel, this is a channel, okay? With maybe some support lines, but let's assume it is a channel up, and then you see the same thing for the channel. So now I'm going to be discovering only channels type of patterns on a time frame like 5 and 15 minutes, okay? You see, I immediately get all existing patterns for the list I have, okay? You see, this is on the time frame 5 minutes, this is on 15 minutes, okay? This, you see how easy and quick. Why? Because our machine, our neural network is running regardless on what you subscribe and what you build, okay? And you see, this is a rectangular type of patterns recorded here and here, right? So that's how you control the direction. Bullish goes up, bearish goes down. And that's if you want, let's say, find only bullish. So what you're going to do, you go to customize, you go pattern types, bearish, you unclick bearish. Okay, now save, and now you're going to be searching only for the bullish patterns. You see now no bearish. You see it's going to be all green. Okay. So now, you see, I showed you some technique for the search of patterns, okay? And you see all of people spending hours to find this type of channels, right? And looking, but here's the machine finds that very quickly and pretty much immediately on the fly. And then you can trade this opportunity. So what do? You look right here. Current confidence, 67%. I showed you the meaning of the confidence, right? Target exit price and then entry price. So entry and exit, and then you can make about 1%. Yeah, let me do like that. You see, it's a confidence level minimum. What I can do, I didn't show you that. Let's say I want a confidence at least 51%, okay? Distance to target, you see, from 0 to 100%. And that's the reason I found all kinds of patterns. But let's assume I don't want very small jumps, right? So let's say I want to find minimum here 4%, okay? I'm going to save. So that means my minimum profit is going to be 4%. I'm going to click here, save. And now let's see, okay, I didn't find this type of patterns at this time of time frames. Let me just, for the purposes of a demonstration, see if I'm going to find for 4%. Okay, you see, on other time frames, I could find the bigger jumps. Because imagine on the smaller time frames, on 5 minutes to jump on 4%, it's kind of pretty high. But on the 1 hour time frame, so that means every point here is 1 hour, right? So that means this can develop over kind of a few hours, 6 to 10 hours, right? And then as soon as you see this channel, then what happens, you see, that's the way it works. So I found the channel, and then it predicts it's going to jump over 5%, confidence 51, and then you see, if you forget what is a pattern is all about, we give you right here all the definitions. We give you all statistics, okay? So you see correct prediction 60% on the confidence level greater than 40. If I can get here, then 65. So you should know that the confidence corresponding to the particular types of patterns as well as the stock, right? So it finds this type of a number of patterns, the correct predictions is 65%. So you see, with this type of a tool, you actually can create a kind of a machine, a rule-based machine for yourself, okay? So when we created, as I showed you first, it was a pattern search engine for stocks, ETFs, crypto, and Forex end of day. Then we moved to the intraday. So that means we put more computing power into our data center how back does historical analysis goes for these pattern predictors? We buy data for like, I would say 10 years, but the intraday, it goes to, I think about a year or two, okay? So that's how, end of day, about 10 years. For intraday, it's a shorter period of time, okay? Yeah, but the statistic is based on the time interval, but sometimes the stock just started and then it could be shorter, okay? Okay, so that was the question. Okay, I'm kind of giving you the story of history, right? So the story was, we started here, then develop real-time patterns, and then people still was saying, okay, I kind of can create that type of rule-based search engine for myself, but how would you guys do that, okay? So then we created robots, okay? I'll talk about these robots in a minute, but I will show you how we can create a list of stocks which you're going to be able to trade, right? So I use a screener, okay? So I'll go to screener, I'll go screener home, right? And here I can create, you see, I take in this scorecard, right? So we rate the stocks, and you see we're rating about 5,500 stocks, okay? So you can also do it for ETFs, mutual funds, Forex, and crypto, right? Okay, so it's 5,500. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say, give me only strong buys, okay, strong buy, okay? So now, how many strong buys I have? I have only 690, you see? This is a strong buys, you see really nice kind of pictures. And then market cap. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be creating a list out of really high liquidity stocks. Capitalization is between 10 billion and 200 billion, okay? So now I have that type of 181. It is a kind of a good type of list, okay? And then you see you expand, and now it's recorded filter, okay? So I can increase different type of parameters and then add them. Let's say valuation. You can actually, guys, look at another of my webcasts. I go through the screener in details, but here I'm going to say, okay, give me only undervalued stocks. I'm going to get 53. Okay, so let's assume I'm a day trader. I want to trade tomorrow stocks which are undervalued, but at the same time, they're strong buys, right? And then you see what is that? We have McDonald's, according to our model, is considered to be undervalued. How we're going to look is you see undervalued. There's a lot of other data. You can look from a technical analysis, fundamental analysis, okay? Qualcomm, CVS, okay? Blackstone, you see it's really good, but from the fundamental analysis perspective, they still undervalued, but still strong buys, right? So what you can do is to create that list for trading for tomorrow. Okay, it's another question. Where the valuation source from? It's our own models. So we buy a lot of data like that. Okay, so this is a data, right? This is a raw data we buy from Morningstar, okay? And all kinds of data, P ratio, P ratio, cash per share, beta, whatever, revenues, okay? So then we create our own models, which kind of prove to be good. And the way you can prove it, I will show you that later, because we have that time machine, which you can use to test your own filters, okay? Yeah, that's our own model. We making our own calculations, okay? Also based on some other type of neural networks, okay? Anyway, so this is a list, and this is a list of the 53 stocks. let's assume you're a day trader, and then you want to trade there in a positive direction tomorrow, right? So this is the entire list, okay? So as you can see on the scorecard, they are all strong buys. What I'm going to do, I'm going to click it right here, and you see 53 out of 53, okay? So what it means, I kind of mark there. Now, what I can do is to copy to the clipboard. Copy. You see now it's a copied, right? So now I'm going to go to the, I'm going to go, I'm on the same page, right? So I'm just going to change the page. So I'm going to go to the, you see real-time patterns, AutoTrading, okay? And you see I'm back to this setup, and now I'll go to customize stocks, and now I'm going to paste it here. You see, this is my list of 53 stocks. I'm going to add them here, okay? See, there was some kind of overlap, but I just added 53 stocks. And then tomorrow, if I save it, let's assume I save that, now it's finding the current patterns, but tomorrow is going to be searching for all patterns and giving you the signals based on all kinds of time frames. And then if you reduce this 4%, let's assume you want to make, let's say, 3%, okay? So then you're going to get more patterns, right? And then you can trade it, okay? Looking right here out of your specific list. So that's how we approaching the philosophy. So what the philosophy is that from fundamental analysis, we select the list and then we trade it. Okay, sounds like algorithm, right? For you, I guys used to teach at Santa Clara University applied mathematics, and then I trade myself, and that's how I ended up with that company which I created, right? So, and maybe that's the reason I kind of sound like a professor a little bit, where you can see that there's a lot of mathematics involved, okay? So now, what is the algorithm? I take fundamental analysis, take a list, and then now tomorrow I'm gonna use it for the search, right? But imagine now the robot, and that's how we created those robots. So I'm gonna go here and go to the robots, okay? Go to the robots. So what are those robots? Robots exactly built approximately how I told you, right? So, and this is the annualized returns, and then it's been 126 days, could have made 87,000. So what you do, you go here, view details, okay? When you view details, first you see the description, right? So, okay, trend trader based on breakouts, okay? Oh, okay, it's what it means. It is a 50 minutes time frame. You already know what it is. So what it does, it uses RTP, neural network, and then additional other filters, okay? Like stochastic, TSV, some other stuff, which we kind of already making that a little bit more proprietary in these robots, but we program it and never touch it, okay? So from this, we start and then turn it on and then collect the statistics, okay? So this is the statistics for this. Annualized return, 68%. Average duration of the trade, it's 4 days. You see average profit, $369. Why the specificity? Because every trade on the paper trade, we're making 10,000, okay? So if you want to trade 2,000, then you're gonna get a different result. But what matters is the proportion. The proportion is that average profit is greater than average loss, and this is a guessing game. You see, a long position won 68%, short position 64%, okay? And all other statistic like a drawdown, profit, to drawdown ratios and everything else, okay? So here you see there's records which look like a brokerage account, but it is not. It is simply records on the paper trades which are simulating the real trade. So that means robot gives the signal, another machine goes to the brokerage, gets the price and records number of shares and then holding time and profit and everything else, okay? So that way we created these robots, okay? So the only level of customization is here, okay? So you see, what you're going to have here is only customization by your list, okay? This list already kind of been pre-featured. It's a 486, but that type of a robot by the developers has only 272 to trade. So let's assume you want only buy signals, then you're going to get only buy signals. If you want to buy and sell, then it's going to be buy and sell. Okay, you apply, and then that way you're going to be able to get these signals to your notifications. Okay, you can do it either on the web or the same robots you're going to be able to access, as I showed you in our mobile app, okay? People complained about the notifications. Now they are in the mobile app and they work really well, okay? And then what you have here is exactly the profits and the losses and everything you hear, and then you can, by clicking at open, you're going to be able to copy this trade exactly as it is at the moment you click to your paper trades, okay? So the paper trade becoming like your brokerage account where you can collect these trades from their different robots, okay? So for instance, you go here, so that was the one robot, this one, a trend trader based on breakouts, right? So we're gonna go here and let's say, I like, let's say, trend trader with a trailing stop, okay? A little bit of a trailing stop, I hope you know what it is. Trailing stop is such a thing that when you caught a particular trend, then you want to stay with that. You don't want to exit. And then you don't exit on the exit price of the pattern, you stay with that. But then you kind of are saying, okay, when I'm going to exit. So there is a concept which exists even in the brokerage accounts, trailing stops. And then it works like that. So you enter right here, it's your price. And then this is a stop, which goes like a parallel to the price. So as soon as it hits that trailing stop, you see this dotted line is a trailing stop. As soon as it hits that line, you exit. Yes, you miss that point, the highest profit, but you gain because you could have exited right, let's say right here, but you actually exited right here. You actually got more, right? So we have that opportunity to say, okay, this is a robot with a trailing stop, and that way you're going to be able to see this with the trailing. Then you click here, okay? You also have a description. It's turned out to be also 15 minutes, but so sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different, okay? Now, now the question, how are you going to follow one or two or even more robots? That's where we talk about the autopilot. You see, so let's go first to my paper trades, okay? So you will see what happens, okay? So I've been we created these capabilities of these paper trades a long time ago. You're going to see that it's almost 2 years since I'm on a paper trade type of approach, and generated quite a lot of about 4,000 different trades. over this period of time, okay? And then at the beginning, I did a lot of manual trades, Let me show you. So for instance, you see, I showed you this screener, and then you click here, and then you can do the paper trade right from any module. Any module you find, you're always going to find the button for the paper trade, and then it's going to be recorded. So that way, you're going to be able to be convinced that your approach works and our technology works for you. Okay, so then let's go back to my paper trades. No, it's not mine. It was mine. Yeah, this is mine, right? So you see, I have my own statistic. Okay, let's look. It is about annualized P&L. This one, average duration 7 days, and then and things like that. But what is important is that I put a few robots on autopilot, and what it means, I'm collecting the trades from this set of robots. Okay. So I'm kind of keep changing them, and that way I am selecting better and better robots, and then collecting better and better statistic. Okay, and then here is the button. If I click right here, autopilot, then I'm going to add to my collection. Okay. So I'm going to add, and now instead of making manually copying to the paper trades, is going to have copied to my paper trades. So instead of robots, it's going to be one page you have to follow. Okay. So what is going to happen? We are going to connect this collection of robots to the paper trade, and now we're connecting these paper trades to the brokerage accounts, and that's where we are, and that's what we're doing right now. But the first thing is going to happen, instead of making a paper trade at the same button, you see it's going to click here, and it's going to be not paper trade, it's going to be real trade. So the first step we want to achieve that you're going to connect this system to the brokerage account, and then we're going to be able to pretty much trade from our system directly at, let's say, TD Ameritrade or Interactive Brokers and some others. You click, and then right from here you can make a trade. Okay, and with there some you see even you see click buy, and then like a normal brokerage, you can make market order or pending orders. So buy limit and then buy stop, and that way this is going to be modeled as a real brokerage. Okay, and then you place the order, and then it's going to be executed tomorrow when the market is going to open. Okay. So actually, I have only 10 minutes left for the hour. Okay, so let's see. There's another question. If a robot is controlling these trades, the robot will pick entry and exit prices. Yes, robot is going to pick everything. Robot is going to pick. When we have a so-called dynamic selection, some of the robots are going to be introduced soon, dynamic selection from the screener, and the robot is going to pick the stock, is going to pick entry, and it's going to pick exit. Yes, it is correct. And you're going to get a signal in your mobile phone for everything, okay? So you're going to get notification, buy this, sell this, buy this, sell this, okay? But if you want to build yourself, then it's actually quite a lot of good capabilities you have right here, and then you can do fundamental analysis and then create your own watch lists. And then let's say every time you click here, you see this activated, and then you create watch list. We actually created a marketplace for the watch list, and guys, if you really interested to do exchanges, then you see we created a watch list exchange. Also just recently released that type of a model where so far, I'm only the one who does that, but I'm expecting more and more people are going to join. So you see what happens, you can collect the watch list and do exchange. So for instance, if you like your own watch list, you can publish it, okay? It is not that difficult to publish. When you save the watch list, you select it right here. You see, this is out of my different webcasts, and then I put the really good names here, and they are already in existence like for 400 days, 200 days, and 500 days. And this is a really good watch list. You can just grab, it's free actually right now. You just can grab and then use them for your own goodness, or publish your own, okay? Even republish mine, okay? Does RTP work or track pre-market and after? Looks like we just switched to the Morningstar, and looks like we do have pre-market and after our trading data, but we don't connect it to RTP yet, okay? But from my experience as a trader, this type is so volatile. There is going to be more mishaps with the statistics, and the statistics should be kept separately. It is not in works right now. We right now primarily focusing on the trade execution. Okay, so the entire team has the subscription model this particular moment, and then you guys can always subscribe to this type of robots. If you subscribe one, you're gonna get quite a lot of. You see, you get one bundle. It's $60. You can get actually credit for other products. 2 robots, it is $120. You actually get a lot of stuff for free in the bundle. Okay, if you get 3 robots, then you actually get all robots to use. So there is no restriction. But if you subscribe for the bundle one, you can switch from robot to robot once a day. Okay, you gotta keep floating and finding the best one. Okay. So guys, any more questions? So we've been talking now 50 minutes. Yeah, today I'm glad. I like when people asking, what is the difference between algo trading and robot trading? There is no difference, absolutely none whatsoever. It's a matter of terminology. People like, I would say like algo trading is an older term because algorithm been in existence kind of quite some time. But robot advisors, robot trading, it's kind of newer form. I like robot trading more because it kind of gives the sense of the kind of a machine. Algo trading, it is pure math, but I can tell you that to make this stuff reliably, to supply the data, to calculate, we have thousands of computers connected. And for me, it's a real machine because from algo perspective, it is like kind of, I would say, a few lines of code, like a few maybe indicators. But when you have a neural network being trained every day, okay, so then any interruptions in this entire ecosystem of our cloud, if something really shakes up, then we kind of get something which is not desirable, right? So that means for me, robot trading is a really complex tool which includes not only neural networks from a mathematical perspective, but also hardware which works perfectly, particularly on execution. I can tell you, we already have been using kind of internally these robots for trading. We're making money. But to make it consumer available, we have to guarantee their reliability. And that's the reason we are not in a hurry to release it, because we want to make sure there would be no drop in the bucket which could undermine the trading capabilities. It's like building a driver's car, right? So people right now put their lives on the line when they release the wheel. Here is the money, which is actually less than life, right? But we want to make sure that it's going to be as reliable as Tesla, right? So that's the reason I like robot trading more than algo trading, because for me, it's a really big machine, thousands of the computers, a lot of connections to the brokerages. It is not algo trading for me. Algo trading has been what I did like 15 to 20 years ago. Algorithm, a little bit of a back testing, and that's all. Yeah, somebody is writing, yeah, guys, if you get all robots, you're really going to get paid off pretty quickly, because you're going to select the robot you like. We're actually going to be adding more and more robots. We're testing. We actually have about 600 robots in testing, right? So you're going to get access to quite a lot. Every week we're releasing more and more on the different algorithms. And actually, what we noticed that the more algorithms, the better they are on the different market conditions, okay? So please don't hesitate to ask me any questions. And then I'm always glad to help. We have a customer support, maybe not always online, but send the email. We're responding to pretty much all emails, but we don't have a 24/7 the people on the phone, okay? So the Zoom is going to cut us off. That way, I'd rather say thank you guys for participation. I like when questions are coming in. It's a really good way to go. It says moving the market from this without need for this. Select a strategy. You know what? You don't need to select a strategy. Yeah, but you know it is similar. It is similar to different people have different dresses. Some people are tall. Some people are short, and they have different sizes. You have a particular amount of money, and then you have a particular amount of time to participate. You see, one robot has one trade per 4 days, right? Another one duration is 7 days, and another one is 4 hours, right? So from that perspective, you select practical approach to that, okay? And then that practicality is in this customization to what you need. And then from that perspective, we're just trying to help to all, not only day traders, not only to swing traders, we do help to pretty much everyone. Okay, guys? Thank you. Thanks, guys. It was a really good crowd. I like interactive kind of webcasts, and you're going to get that recording in a day or two, okay? Thank you, guys. Zoom is going to cut us off in 1 minute anyway. Thank you. Bye-bye.